community economic empowerment based on sustainability principles, environmental stewardship, and social and cultural aspects, the whole holistic approach. If you haven't been to Samsara Living Museum, it is a great example of what can be done, what should be done, and we're going to hear from Gus Agung now.
Thank you so much, Pak Elister. Ya, hati-hati, Pak. Yeah, firstly, I would like to deliver my highest appreciation to the Apurva Kepinski Bali, for this great initiative, Pak Vincent, Ibu Danti, Mbak Intan, Mbak Tiar, dan tim semua. Om Swastiastu, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, salam sehat, salam sejahtera, dan salam sustainable untuk kita semua. I'm Gus Agung from Samsara Living Museum, from the Slough of Onagong, eastern part of Bali. So now I'd like to share a bit about our initiative, how's the terminology of living museum, to be a strategy to coexist between community and tourism. So maybe next slide. Okay, I will. So I'll start with this. I think already familiar about over-tourism. Pak Yoga already said about this also before. But on that time, our minister, Mr. Sandiaga Uno, said that we need to spread, memeratakan pembangunan atau tourism ini. But if we would like to spread, in my opinion, maybe we can agree with this, because I think that is one of a good solution for us at that time. But if we would like to spread the tourism to the other part of Bali, we need to make sure, this is next slide, right? That the area in the eastern part, in the northern part, in the western part is also ready to receive the visitation. So based on that situation, we are in Samsara try to initiate something that actually Samsara is the initiative how to provide something like a prototype to develop cultural based or community based development in the areas full of challenge. Because if you go to the north, go to the east in Karangasem, maybe you will see infrastructure and so on, the human development index and so on. It's not ready. So if we move the crowd to that area, we just move the problem. This is a bit visualization or condition in our area. For example, in Karangasem, the first is we are quite far from the main access of Bali. We need 2 or 3 hours to be there. Second, our human development index is also low if we compare than other agencies in Bali. 87% of our area is dry, especially in the northern part. Our local income is also low. If compared then Badung Regency in this area is 1 in 20, very far. In the last one we are in the prone disaster area. Samsara itself is only 10 kilometers from the top of Onagong. When the volcano erupt, or the activities is increased on 17 and 18, all of us need to evacuate it to other areas in Bali. So based on this, the area cannot develop their area with mainstream method. That's why in our terminology, this area should be have the exact positioning that related with their unique selling point, related with their strengths, their value and so on. Then they will develop their area with confidence. Not only just copy and paste other program, other method from other areas to there, because maybe that not fit in with their values. So on that time, based on this positioning, finally, after we doing some steps one step that's very important is assessment. We find out 7 categorized assets, including human asset, ecological asset, natural asset, spiritual asset, cultural heritage, and so on. In every asset, we find one word to be a key of this, the value of this area is authenticity. That's why we decided the positioning di Karangasem to be one areas in Bali that's still authentic. Like many speakers, panels, people said that we need to keep this because without this Bali is nothing. So based on that situation, as we know, really difficult to influence the community in the village especially to have this mindset because in their opinion, they will think their life become better if they are already shifting their lifestyle to be more modern, more settled, lifestyle and so on. So we think that we need to build umbrella program. So because of that reason, we built this initiative, named it Karangasem Living Museum, that just keep the people doing their daily life naturally, or making the daily life tradition and social culture of societies to be the content of a living museum. So they don't need to shifting their lifestyle, just doing their daily life naturally. Or in other words, we name it a family-based tourism, much smaller than community-based tourism. Why? Because with this terminology, everyone have chance to do or to develop their area based on their own value. Still 5 minutes. The principle of sustainable tourism accommodated in the terminology of living museum. For example, related with environment aspect, there's no exploitation. Does not use a lot of energy. No massive building infrastructure. Does not involve high mobility. Also related with social cultural aspect, optimally involving the community. Reduce the need for urbanization, because they will able to stay or productive in their village, offering productive generation in the village. Related with economical aspect, allows the people to be the masters of their our home. I think this is one of important key how to make Bali still Bali is by keep the Balinese people to be the masters of their own home, so they will able to spread their value, their strength point, unique selling point, and so on. Able to provide economic resilience in every situation, even for example in pandemic situation, in natural disaster and so on, and also able to inline conservation effort with economic development. So this is a bit visualization about the ecosystem we built. Until now, we already engaged initiative including Tenganan Pegeringsingan with their rural regulation named Awi-Gawe. And this is Living Museum Pustaka Lontar. They have a lot of manuscript or lontar, contain many local knowledge inside. And here we are in Samsara. We are concerned to develop our value related with Samsara itself, the circle of balanced life. Start from unborn baby until die, there are 14 steps. And here we are in Sangyang Dedari Living Museum. They still have sustainable agricultural tradition with 9 rituals from seed until ready to prepare on our dining table. And this is such a living museum. They have more than 1,000 for industry producing local spirit or arak. Okay, applause for the community that still keep their values with a very hard effort. And last 3 minutes, this is example. So all of us will able to imagine how the community values actually able to strengthen the confidence of the community to coexist with the tourism. In Samsara, we develop our wellness experience based on our belief structure. In Bali, I think majority of us know about Veda. Veda is our highest literation, divided to be 2. Shruti is still verbal, not written yet, and then Smrti is written already. For example, in Smrti, if we take only one from them, name it Jyotisa. Jyotisa is astrological knowledge. There is manuscript manuscript, name it Jyotisa. So in Samsara, we build the experience based on that literation. For example, this is the experience journey. The first we are doing meditation because we need to have a permit from the God to doing something. And second journey is doing a purification or melukat or titayatra to make us or to make sure the person who's like to join this program ready, to receive everything good or bad. And the third step, name it reflection or pratiti. This one is very unique because we will treat our customer based on a Balinese birthday. For example, I'm born on Saniscara, Wage Dukut. Saniscara is Saturday. Wage is a 5 days cycle, Manis Paing Pon, Wage Kliwon, and then Dukut is we have 30 series changing every week. Simple Anda Ukir Kulatir Toluk Gumrak and so on. If we accumulate this, we're able to describe or break down something like SWOT analytic for every of us. What is our strengths? What is our weakness, opportunity, threat, and so on. So in Samsara, we will treat our customer based on the birthday. For example, if they birth on Saturday, what is herbal that relevant with their body? Maybe in Indonesia we call pegagan, kayu manis, and so on. And after that, we're doing exercise. And in Bali, I believe that yoga already, permisi, is already related with our daily activities. We don't need to bring special matras, choose special instructor, and go to a special place because already contained in our daily life, including how's our mom, in our Ibu Heli maybe tahu juga di dapur or in our kitchen, how they stand, in the very jongkok itu jadi tidak jongkok, tidak berdiri. I'm sorry, my English is very bad, that is to exercise how our mom, exercise their otot, squat, and so on, and also for yang akan melahirkan, who should like to getting birth, and also to exercise. That is one of example. Many things others. And also therapy. We're doing our spa in our bamboo forest. That also related with their birthday, Balinese birthday. Already finished. This is some result. The result is to be the conclusion that if an areas able to find out what is their positioning, what is their strength point, so they will have chance to be a world-class destination. For example, we are in Samsara also to be a partner with Miss Universe to movement, name it, the beauty of sustainable culture and heritage. Also with some peoples from the Silicon Valley, also the minister level meeting of G20 held in this very remote area. And we also assist the IKN, our new capital city, to make sure their local tribe resilient with very big influence from outside. And I think that's all. Of course, we need to share that this is our collaboration with the Apurva Kempinski. Thank you so much, Apurva. Apurva Kempinski. As far as we able to supply the organic farming from our farmer, so the Apurva will accommodate or receive it. I think that's all from me. Also the growth of tourism, Pak Alistair, already 4,000% after 5 years, before and after. But we already have long-term planning that Samsara itself until now already decide our carrying capacity 30% per day, not more than that, because we try to keep sustainable in the future. Thank you so much.